Hey everybody, welcome to Planes Over It. I hope you guys are doing good. So we'll continue with the 320 series. Today we're going to do avionics ventilation. So avionics ventilation is a critical system. It's important. Avionics are all that includes your computers that are running the aircraft. And since Airbus is a highly automated aircraft, so computers play a major role. So anyway, disclaimer, the same one. I do not recommend any practical application of whatever you're learning here. All right. So let's go on to the system itself. So avionics ventilation is a system that cools the electrical and electronic components in the avionics compartment and on the flight deck, including the instrument panel and the circuit panel. So what's happening is since these electrical components get heated up, so the avionics ventilation will help in cooling them down and keeping them more efficient. It is fully automatic, and another important feature about the Airbus aircraft is every system will have some controller or computer that will govern the functioning of that system. So in this, there is AEVC, Avionics Equipment Ventilation Controller. So what are the components of avionics ventilation? It is AEVC, we have already talked about that. Two electric fans, blower fan and extract fan, skin air inlet outlet valves, skin exchange inlet outlet bypass valves, air conditioning inlet valve, skin exchange isolation valve. So we'll talk about each of them in the coming slide. So how does the operation of avionics ventilation happens? So the system is completely automatic as long as the aircraft is electrically supplied. So the moment you supply electrical power to it, whether it is external or whether it is APU running, we'll talk about electricals in a different video anyway. So whenever the aircraft is electrically supplied, it is going to function. It can also be controlled manually, but that is only in case of abnormal situation. Now avionics ventilation system works on the most important temperatures given on the video. It is the two skin temperatures, the skin temperature, aircraft skin temperature thresholds that the system works on are on ground threshold 12 degrees and above, 12 degrees and increasing, 9 degrees and decreasing, in flight threshold 35 degrees and increasing, or 32 degrees and decreasing. So based on these temperatures, the aircraft will decide that the AEVC will decide what configuration we need to be in. So this is very important to remember. So your on ground is 12 degrees and increasing. So on the ground, the threshold for the skin temperature is 12 degrees and increasing, or 9 degrees and decreasing, and in flight is as shown. All right, so let's understand the components itself. So two electric fans are here. These are the this is the fans, extract fan and the blower fan. All right, they help in continuously circulating air around the avionics compartment. So they are just blowing and pulling air and circulating it around. Skin air inlet and outlet valve. These are the valves here. Okay, so these valves admit air from outside the aircraft. This one outside the aircraft. This one evacuates hot air from the avionics compartment. Okay, let's go to the next one. Skin exchange inlet and outlet bypass valve. Skin exchange inlet bypass valve, skin exchange outlet bypass valve. So these are the valves that are dealing with cargo underfloor and avionic bay. So this is going to work because if you remember, cargo is pressurized, not the cargo underfloor. So just for having ventilation there, this is also happening. Okay. So next is air conditioning inlet valve. This is here. So in case of abnormal condition, this air conditioning duct will help in giving fresh air. This valve enables supply of fresh air from air conditioning circuit to the avionics bay. Next is the skin exchange isolation valve. This is the valve here, skin exchange isolation valve. And this valve connects or isolates the skin heat exchanger. Now skin heat exchanger, this is a component here which is similar to a coolant. It has a coolant. So whenever this is required, this will open up, the hot air will circulate around this, the coolant heat exchange will take place, and it will be recirculated again. So I hope you have understood the components. Next, types of configuration. There are different types of configuration on the avionics ventilation system, and they are open circuit, closed circuit, intermediate circuit, abnormal configuration, smoke configuration. Okay, so now important point about this is the top three are fully automatic, as an AEVC will govern them. The bottom two are manually controlled by the pilot. So this we have to remember. Let's start off with the configurations. So open circuit configuration. So what is happening in this is both the valves are open. Whenever I talk about the valves here in this, the top three fully automatic, we are dealing with these valves. So as you can see, they are fully open. Okay. Open circuit configuration will come into effect when skin temperature is above the ground threshold. As you can see on the this logic diagram here, above the ground threshold. What is the ground threshold? 12 degrees and increasing, or 9 degrees and decreasing. So if your skin temperature of the aircraft is above the ground threshold, okay, so then this will come into picture, and thrust is not at takeoff, and ground, you are on ground basically. So this is going to happen generally you are when you're parked. If you meet these requirements, because you're parked, you'll be on ground, your thrust is not at takeoff of course, and your skin temperature is generally above the ground threshold. So then your open circuit configuration will happen. An open circuit configuration means that it is going to take outside air to cool the avionics equipment and recirculate air. So it is normal ground configuration, and it is not, the skin exchange isol valve is shut, because since you're using outside air to cool it, we do not need a coolant to help in the same. And since you're on the ground, you do not really need circulation for cargo, and avionics bay is anyways the same place. Okay, I hope open circuit configuration is clear. Now closed circuit configuration. Now closed circuit configuration, the first important thing you have to know is these valves are closed. The two valves are closed. Okay, so now since these two valves are closed, we don't have outside air coming into the avionics ventilation system. So this valve is open, as you can see. Now since this valve is open, hot air will go from here, skin heat exchange will have a coolant that will cool the air and send it back. Okay, and also cargo underfloor is also circulated through this valve is open, and avionics bay is also circulated. Okay, now closed circuit configuration will happen in three conditions. So the first one here is you're on ground. As you can see, you're on ground. Let's take out from the logic diagram itself. Thrust is not at takeoff, and your skin temperature is below ground threshold. Okay, the previous one was above ground threshold. Now here it is below, and hence you will be in closed circuit configuration. Okay, the ground threshold is 12 degrees and increasing, 9 degrees and decreasing. Okay, the next condition, you are on ground. As you can see here, you are on ground. Okay, and your thrust is at takeoff. So this logic gate is met, completed, and so now you have to meet this condition, or so what is happening is here, or means you can either this line has to satisfy or this line. So basically you're on ground, so that is, or this gate is also satisfied, and means both the lines have to be satisfied. So this line is done. Skin temperature less than in-flight threshold. What's the in-flight threshold? 35 degrees and increasing, 32 degrees and decreasing. So if you meet that requirement, you will be in closed circuit configuration on the ground. Okay, this is generally during your roll, takeoff roll, as in you've just put the thrust lever at takeoff power, and your skin temperature outside is less than in-flight threshold. Then you will be into closed circuit configuration. Now in-flight configuration, here you are in flight, or gate has been satisfied, either line happening, or gate is satisfied, and skin temperature less than in-flight threshold. Okay, so you'll be in, this is also satisfied, or, and you'll be in closed circuit configuration. Now if you can see, your in-flight threshold is 35 degrees and increasing, or 32 degrees and decreasing. If you remember, in flight obviously your temperatures are going to be less than those temperatures that are there in the in-flight threshold. Hence this is a normal in-flight configuration. Okay, so the open circuit is normal ground configuration, closed circuit is normal in-flight configuration. Let's talk about intermediate configuration. Okay, so intermediate configuration, as you can see here, the inlet valve is shut, no air from the outside, but the outlet valve is half open. Okay, outlet valve is half open. Now this will come effect into two conditions: in flight, or gate has been satisfied. The next is skin temperature greater than in-flight threshold here. Okay, this AND gate is satisfied, and hence you will be in intermediate configuration. So greater than in-flight threshold could be, you know, when perhaps you're flying in an inversion, maybe that you have a temperature rise as you're climbing altitude. So it's very rare, but Airbus has made a, already decided on that in case it happens. Then the other condition is on ground, thrust at takeoff, gate satisfied, or one line is satisfied. The then to satisfy, and this also should happen. So skin in flight, skin temperature greater in-flight threshold, greater than in-flight threshold, and then this and is satisfied, and you're in intermediate configuration. Only thing you have to know as a pilot is intermediate configuration. You'll have your outlet valve half open, same as closed circuit, just that outlet valve is half open, and we are discussing about greater than in-flight threshold. Now I've tried to summarize in a table. I'll keep this slide open for few seconds so you can understand. All right, so as you can see here, open circuit will be on the ground and thrust not at takeoff greater than on ground. On ground is 12 degrees and increasing, 9 degrees and decreasing. You will be in open. Your inlet and outlet valves will be open. Closed circuit, ground not at takeoff less than on ground. Close. Closed circuit again, configuration will be when your ground on ground at takeoff. This is during takeoff roll basically generally. And your temperature is less than in-flight threshold. And your valves will be closed. Closed circuit anyways, your valves are closed. And another condition, in flight, any position less than in flight threshold, circuits are closed. And thrust in flight could be any place. It's not required. It could be in any position. And intermediate at takeoff, you're on ground, greater than in flight. This is the condition. Intermediate in flight, any position. Thrust lever can be at any position in flight. And greater. So so I know it would be very confusing. So what as a pilot we should know when are the valves open and closing, okay, and what are the normal configuration. Open circuit is on normal ground configuration, closed circuit is normal in-flight configuration. So that is enough to know. Okay, you can go and study in detail from the FCOM, but this I think will do. Now let's talk about abnormal configuration. Now abnormal configuration is manually controlled. Okay, so this could be, depends on, as I've written here also, the abnormal configuration will come into effect when either of the fans trigger a fault alert. Low pressure of the fan. So these fans, blower or extract fan, are not running at a good speed. Low pressure is there of the fan. So that is when your abnormal configuration will kick in. So in this, what happens? You go into closed configuration first of all. These are closed. Okay. So suppose if the blower is set to override, because if the suppose blower fan has a low pressure, so the blower fault light will trigger. And on this is, as you can see here, blower fault light will trigger because your blower fan is at low pressure. Then the ECAM action will tell you override it. So when you click override, the blower fan stops and the extract fan continues. Okay, extract fan will continue and the circuit will continue. Now since it's a closed circuit, if you remember, the air conditioning will come into picture, because see what is happening, you're not having air from outside, you are having only inside air, whatever is there, and your one fan is down. So extract fan is just pushed and you push more pressure from the air conditioning to help in avionics ventilation. Okay, and since we need more air for cooling, these cargo and all is not considered, they are not prioritized to ventilate those systems. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now what happens if the extract fan is showing a fault? So what is happening, if extract is showing a fault, then the ECAM action will tell to override it. Okay, once you override, apparently what happens here is both your fans continue to run. Okay, so it's a different case. Blower fan stops, but extract both fans continue to run. Why? This gives a chance for the ventilation system to reconfigure itself to a automatic configuration. Okay, it will give a chance where the pilot is giving the AEVC a chance to reconfigure it to go to an automatic configuration. That is why this is specifically done like that. Okay, now the air conditioning duct, as I've told you, supplies air to assist to revive low pressure conditions. Since the avionics ventilation is a low pressure condition, it will help in giving some pressure to the avionics ventilation. So I hope abnormal configuration is clear. Smoke configuration. So as the name suggests, you have a smoke in the avionics ventilation system. So what is happening if smoke is detected in the avionics? So here you can see smoke detector. Okay, this one here. So if smoke is detected, in this case both the fault lights will go on. why will they go on to just to show you that there's a smoke detected in the avionics ventilation as a sign of smoke detection. Both fault lights will go on. And if you do the emergency checklist ECAM action, you will be asked to set both the switches to override. Okay, once you do that, inlet valve shuts here, and the skin outlet valve also, if you see, extract valve closure, but there is a small internal flap that opens halfway. Okay, so the small internal flaps open and all other valves isolate the system. As you can see, this is also shut, this is also shut, this is also shut. Why? Since it's smoke, we want to isolate all the systems and let the smoke remain in that zone. An air conditioning duct provides cooling air to push the smoke out from this place. Half valve is open, you'll push the smoke out. Since this is giving pressure, all the other systems are isolated. Since adding more air conditioning duct, air conditioning pressure, it will try to push the smoke out. Okay, and in this case what happens, the blower fan stops, extract fan continues. Why? Extract fan is trying to extract air from the air conditioning duct to pull it and then push the smoke overboard. Okay, so this is about smoke configuration. So I hope you guys have understood all the configuration. Just watch the video again. If you have any doubts, just comment below, I'll get back to you. And I think we're done with avionics ventilation, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Facebook page if you really like the video, and give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Do not forget to share it. Comment below if you have any doubts. I will surely sort it out. And next up we will do pressurization. And that's all, guys. Cheers and happy landings. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.